What's up, YouTube? It is your girl Latrina, and I'm back again with another tarot spread read. And starting off in our first row, we do get the Three of Cups, along with the Wealthy Man, and the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Also with the Transformation card. And then on the very bottom card, we get the Sadness in the reverse, which speaks of a wealthy man coming out first off. Maybe had some sort of a transformation, or this is the Death card, also in the traditional tarot. This wealthy man has had a transformation regarding something that he wished he didn't work on, but he did work on it, but he's actually had a transformation regarding it. He wished he didn't work upon it. And then that Three of Cups speaks of, celebrations. He wished that he didn't celebrate and work upon something because he's had a transformation. That's the card of him wishing he never worked on something. Maybe there was a depth to something that he did work on, to the celebrations with this wealthy man. He's actually visually able to see that something has transformed that he worked upon. He wished he didn't work upon that situation as well, because the situation, he's not happy when it comes to these things that he did work upon. He's not happy about it. He's not happy that some things have transformed regarding his celebrations and regarding whatever it was that he worked upon. This brought him into sadness. And then we also have an older gentleman coming out in that second row with the New Beginnings in the reverse, and the Seven of Wands in the reverse, with the King of Swords and the Gift card. So this older gentleman is actually in concern about something that was supposed to be a brand new beginning, and it actually turned out to be the end. It means the end. If it's no beginning, it's the end. He's concerned about the end of that's come upon this spell work, because that Seven of Wands depicts, even it depicts spell work, but it also depicts something that someone had to defend themselves. Somebody was protected from this, which did bring an end to that situation because of the protection. Someone's concerned about someone else's protection. And also this King of Swords coming out in that same second row represents a law, a law official. Because when that King of Swords comes out as a saint, that does mean that this King of Swords is actually put an end. This law official has put an end to something that, somebody needed to protection from. And it's probably spell work, you know. And it's probably, regarding a gift. This spell work that was being done was regarding a gift. But this King of Swords stepped in, which he does represent all matters of the law. He stepped in regarding this spell work, and he put an end to, to that situation. Maybe he put an end to it by, because the spell work didn't, somebody was protected. This is what put an end to it. Somebody's protection from the spell work is what did put an end to that. And it does have him in concern. Whatever situation has come to an end has put him into concern. This wealthy man or this older gentleman. Because currently we right now got two men on the deck. Wealthy man and this older gentleman. One of them is in concern, and it looks like it's this older gentleman. And it's possibly about a gift that he's been doing spell work on, trying to attain this gift with using spell work. It's got him in concern. Something came to an end because somebody actually was protected from this spell work, against this, this older gentleman and this wealthy man, because it did put this man was concerned about what he worked upon also. And it put an end to his celebrations. Whatever this law official brought a transformation. That law official, King of Swords, brought a transformation and a death even to this situation regarding this wealthy man and whatever he worked on and even celebrated on it, about it, or on it, or about it. He celebrated probably too soon, because the situation now has him into sadness. It's got him not happy. And then next in our third row, we get the Devil card coming out, along with the Wheel of Fortune has came out on deck on this Devil, showing up as an attorney. This Devil, the Wheel of Fortune has come in on this Devil. And also, on this rest in Raju, he's not been able to rest because of this sudden wealth. He did not get this sudden wealth. And so that's why he cannot rest. It's because of this attorney. And the Wheel of Fortune has stepped in, which that Wheel of Fortune does speak of inevitable change, cycles coming to a full, complete, a circle. Regarding this judge, that does come out right along with that Wheel of Fortune and this attorney. So it looks like this judge may be put an end to this rest, because we got that 10 in that row, which that Wheel of Fortune changes the whole situation. And this attorney changes this whole situation. This judge and this attorney showing up as this king of sword, meaning all matters of the law, especially when it comes out in the upright. So this judge and this attorney has put an end to this situation regarding this devil and this bondage, that this attorney was involved in as well. Because we got that wealthy man and then this older man, which this law official has actually placed these two gentlemen in concern. And this judge has these two gentlemen in concern about this sudden wealth, because the wheel of fortune has come in on that. And it's leaving them restless. They can't rest about this sudden wealth that they actually lost, because this attorney stepped into the situation, showing up as the devil to them. This attorney is the devil to these two gentlemen here, because he put an end to their sudden wealth, and he also brought the wheel of fortune in on them both, from whatever they worked on in this first row, and whatever spell work that they were doing and using that someone was protected from, or they didn't have any protection, is what that tells me, because that Seven of Wands is coming out in the reverse. So that says that someone didn't have any protection once this King of Swords came in. They were left unprotected by the ancestors, and even just by the judicial system. They was left unprotected, because this attorney, even this judge, left them unprotected when it came to this sudden wealth. They weren't able to rejuvenate it, because the Wheel of Fortune stepped in as this attorney brought this Wheel of Fortune in on this legal matter. He brought this Wheel of Fortune in the form of the devil. He's coming out as the devil. He's showing up as the devil. This attorney is. Even this judge is showing up as the devil. But the Wheel of Fortune has come in on them both. Maybe this judge and this attorney is representing this wealthy man and this older silverback here, this old gentleman here. Because then we next have in this fourth row the Three of Pentacles coming out with the Coffin card, and the Passion Ignited card, right with the Hangman in the reverse. Show me your ID with that Three of Pentacles. And that even speaks upon something being worked upon. That Three of Pentacles speaks of teamwork. And also this Hangman in the reverse, it just lets me know that someone has been, confined due to some things that they did work upon, which is double confirmed with this Eight of Pentacles and this Three of Pentacles. Both of them cards, indicate something that was worked upon. And this one is team worked upon. This is an individual, type of a job, which could, it doesn't matter, because there was a team involved whenever you see that Three of Pentacles. And then that Show Me Your ID, something didn't measure up. It didn't add up. It didn't have the proper, identification. Someone didn't have the proper identification when they was trying to ignite this passion that they had to put something in the coffin, to put something to rest. And it may even be regarding this ecclesiastic card, which is usually a spiritual leader. It was working upon this situation as this team stepped in, and they got themselves caught up in this court. This wealthy man and this older gentleman are both concerned because they didn't have any protection from this situation regarding this court. And even, something that came to rest in this courthouse. Even the Wheel of Fortune speaks of that inevitable change and something coming to rest, when it comes to this spiritual leader. So we have 4 different men on this board, but I'm thinking that there are only 2 real men here, or maybe it is 4, because each of them, and then when it has this team here, down here with this 3 of Pentacles, it tells me that this was a group of men, that were involved in this case. One of them being a judge, one of them being an attorney, and then this wealthy man, this older gentleman. We have a clergyman here. And so that's at least 4 men that were involved in a situation that the will has come upon. And then we even have an attorney, So maybe one of these men represents the attorney, because I doubt that there would be 5 men coming out in one particular read, unless in these was Masons, because we do get that 33 there, which can speak of that Masonic, group in that organization also, And then when you get this work card, and then there's no spiritual protection at all, no one regarding this matter of the law. There was no spiritual protection in this court that they were doing this spell work on too, because the 7 of Wands does depict spell work also that they were doing without any protection, without any spiritual protection. And this King of Swords, I guess they thought that they could actually work this stuff upon this court, They was doing these spells on this courthouse matter. And they didn't even have any protection. And they were doing it, regarding some sudden wealth. That's why they were working on this with no spiritual protection. And it was actually, and there was regarding sudden wealth that they did not successfully attain in this read. They didn't attain this sudden wealth, and instead they didn't even receive any rest. They can't rest behind this situation. This situation has stripped them from resting, and it has become, a fear. They're in fear at this point because this attorney stepped in, or these legal, all matters of the law have stepped in with that King of Swords there. And this attorney, he's in fear. This whole group of men is in fear, and they're not able to rest about this sudden wealth. And whatever judgment that did come in regarding this sudden wealth, it's caused an upheaval in their little organization or their group. If we are dealing with Masonic Masons, Freemasons with that 33 degrees out here, 33 degrees of knowledge, that Wheel of Fortune came in, and it actually brought in the coffin coming out in this fourth row with his ecclesiastics member. He's the clergyman and the spiritual leader of the tarot. And there goes another man. That's almost 5 gentlemen that I can kind of see and count out in this read here. This clergyman. Something has ended when it's regarding this spiritual leader, because he didn't have any spiritual protection for one. You know, whomever this clergyman is, and he may just be coming out as this older gentleman. It may be this clergyman and him are the same people. Something has ended regarding that whatever they was passionately working on, and it got them caught up. And it's regarding some type of fraud, some type of identity, and some type of identification that they worked upon with their team. It has come to rest. And when I say a rest, I mean a permanent rest. Whenever you see that coffin card, it speaks of a permanent resting place. And then we, in the very last row, get the gift card in the reverse, along with the spiritual strength card in the reverse. Someone didn't even have the power or the strength to pull this sudden wealth heist off. And that's because we get this Ace of Cups coming in with the multiple choices, as well as coming the Wheel of Fortune again. So that's a double Wheel of Fortune, which has given someone some hope. It's restored somebody's hope. Or maybe, and also in, the same aspect, it's probably stripped their hope away. Whenever you see that coffin card, it's taking someone's hope away, because they were not protected. And they didn't have the strength, the spiritual strength to obtain this gift. Their spiritual muscles weren't large enough, and weren't even, they were under exercised to even get this gift that they worked upon as a team and coming out like as a gang, and they still didn't have the spiritual strength. And you know what I'm saying? It just left them, to have to hope for, we got Passion twice coming out. And then the Wheel of Fortune with multiple choice. So that just tells me that someone had multiple chances, to actually they had multiple choices to I guess release this gift due to no spiritual strength, just being not strong enough to get this heist done. They weren't strong enough. They didn't have the spiritual protection that they thought they had when it comes to the, the ethers and things. Because we get that Wheel of Fortune coming out twice. We get it here in this third row with this devil and this attorney. They had to give up hope. Something that they was losing sleep about regarding a sudden wealth. And no attainment of this sudden wealth. Because in these 2 bonus cards popped out. And this one is money in the reverse. So that just confirms that they, worked upon this teamwork with spell work. teamwork with spell work. And then we get this lover card coming out, you know, teamwork and spell work. And it was about some spiritual, strength and also some sudden wealth with that double confirmation on that money card. In the reverse, they both come out in the reverse. The sudden wealth and the money card both come out in the reverse. That was trying to be attained, or it was a heist. It was a heist, that they were trying to pull off. That the Wheel of Fortune came in twice on this heist. The attorney came in on this heist. We even got a judge, that's coming out. This judge and this attorney both, they come out as the devil. But whatever actions was taken and whatever roles these 4 to 5 gentlemen played in this situation, the Wheel of Fortune has hit this card spread twice, which does speak of an inevitable changes, and it will leave some with no hope and some with hope for their futures, just because of this change, and someone's spiritual strength also, and what someone couldn't spiritually pull off, someone's spiritual strength and also someone's spiritual weakness, because somebody played, didn't have the strength to pull this heist off.